Hi everyone, and welcome to this FAQ on 3D fill extrusions. Now, you don't really need to remember all of those words. The key here is we're talking about 3D data that you've loaded into MapMaven and how to change the styling on it. We're going to start here with this big surprise, 3D Helsinki test map. Let's just go ahead first and take a look at it so you can see what that looks like if you're not familiar with 3D and MapMaven. Let's see here. And I admittedly did not set the zoom to this layer. So we are going to find Helsinki. You can do that, and I encourage you to look at the FAQ showing you how to do that zoom. But here we have it. Okay. This is a series of buildings in Helsinki, the capital of Finland, and they are completely three-dimensional in terms of their representation in MapMaven. You might be wondering, okay, well, how are these any different from any other layers? They look pretty 2D to me, maybe a little relief on the sides. Well, that is where our tilt function is going to come in handy. You're going to want to click this button right here to tilt and pivot around on the map. So now we get a much better sense of the height and dimensions of each of these buildings, and given their three-dimensionality, you're going to want to be able to get around to more than one side of the buildings and change your perspective. So remember that you can not only go up and down, but you can also go side to side here. So now that you know what it looks like, I will show you where you can stylize them. So we will go back to the Layers tab, and I'm going to use our search function here to go to my 3D Helsinki buildings layer, and you're going to want to look at this little icon up here. Okay, we have a lot of options over here, and those are all covered in our FAQ section. So if you're curious about any of these, such as choropleth, heat maps, and more, I encourage you to check them out. But for this exercise, we are going to click 3D fill extrusions. Now, don't need to get too complicated here. They're purple. I like the color purple, but let's go ahead and make them yellow. All right. Boom. So again, not too complicated. Please keep in mind that you can affect the height and also the opacity, which is great for any instance where you might want to be able to see, well, either a building on the other side of one building so that they're not blocking each other out, or the base map or other data that you stacked below the 3D layer, or both. So there you go. Now that we know how to do that, let's go one last time and take a look at the map. Make sure those changes are reflected on the Helsinki map that we were looking at earlier. Click the view icon. And again, because I was lazy and didn't set the extent, we will zoom manually into Helsinki. How did we do? Boom, we did it. Perfect. All that just took a couple seconds, and we now have yellow, beautiful buildings here over the Finnish capital. So, might sound like a big word, extrusion, and if you want a more formal definition, I'd be happy to give you one, but really what you need to know is that that's where you're going to find the ability to stylize these 3D layers that are so cool to load into MapMaven. Happy mapping, and we always encourage you to reach out to us directly with any questions. So to do that, you can email me, Fletcher@apollomapping.com, or our more general account, support@mapmaven.com, to get a hold of the several members of our support team. Thanks.